Welcome. In this video, we'll be discussing the new rental inventory tracker Excel template. This is a free Excel template from Indzara.com. If you are a business owner of a rental business where you rent equipment or items to your customers, then you will find this template useful to track inventory. So this template can help you know how many items are being rented out already and how many items are currently in stock. You can also determine how many items will be expected in the inventory in the future based on future dated rental contracts or rental orders. You can use this template for any type of rental business, whether it's renting furniture, renting wedding items, or even lending books in a library. Now in this video, we will see how the template works, and I will be using the template filled in with some sample data so that we can illustrate the features of this template. So this is our Excel template where I am in the home sheet, which is the beginning sheet, which has the list of instructions, very simple template, so very simple instructions. And then we can go to the assets sheet. This is where I have already entered a few sample assets. So I have chairs and desks and tables, and I have entered the number of items that we have for each of those assets. So for example, in our business, we have 25 bamboo chairs, 20 desks, and 10 round coffee tables, and so on. And the calculations here, the last two columns are automatic. They will calculate how many items have been rented out and how many are currently in stock. And at the top, you have the total number of items and total rented out and total in stock. When you begin using the template where you haven't entered any assets, then these things will be zero, but these things will be updated based on what we will be entering in the orders sheet. So let's go to the orders sheet. In this sheet, we have this table where we will be entering each rental order or rental contract that we have from our customers. So for example, order number 1 on May 1st, 2016, we received an order for renting 2 bamboo chairs, and they wanted the specific set of chairs to be rented out from 15th May, and they will return it back to us on 20th May. So that is the specific rental order for order number 1. And order number 3, for example, there are 2 sets of assets. So they need 3 round coffee tables and 4 rectangular tables. And they have different rent out and return dates, but they also could have the same rent out and return dates. And so each and every order, we will list all the details here. And then the last column, you can use it to track any communications with the customer or contact information for the customer, their phone number or email address or other things. And you can add more columns by typing in another field name here in H7, and then you'll create a new column. So you can keep adding new columns to store any information that you want about the orders or the customers. The top section here is the availability check section, where you can choose a specific asset and then put in the rent out date and return date, and the template will calculate how many items are available to rent. For example, in this case, this specific order for rectangular tables from 15th July to 21st July is what I have put in here. And the template says we don't have enough inventory to fulfill that specific order. And so what we should be doing in this case is to not take up the specific order, because you will not be able to fulfill this order. And instead you can negotiate or bring this number down. For example, if you're only renting out 2, even after renting out 2, you will still have 3 left. So this is positive numbers, which means that for the specific window, you have enough inventory. But if I want to rent out 5, I will be running out of inventory, but I will still be able to manage this specific order. If I go beyond that, you will not have enough inventory. So generally, you can check the availability and then commit to an order with a customer, so that you are not committing to something which you will not be able to deliver on. And similarly, let's choose another set of examples. So let's say I want round coffee tables, and in this case, I'm saying 1st July to 15th or 5th August. So this is the specific window that I want to be able to fulfill. and even after fulfilling this, I'll still be able to have more inventory, which means that I'm okay with this order. So generally keep in mind that the inventory available calculation is assuming that all these orders will be fulfilled. So that is how this calculation is done. In addition to checking for availability for one asset, you can also use the calendar sheet where you can see up to 25 assets, and then you can see up to 31 days of availability. In this case, you can control the beginning date. For example, if I want this to be beginning of July, I just type that in the start date, and then everything gets updated. And here you have two options. I'm showing the available quantity, how many units of each of these assets will be available on the specific dates in the future. And the rented option is actually how many will be rented out on these specific days. And so you can have both views, and when you choose available, if you see red colored cells, which means that you don't have enough inventory because they are negative numbers. So very clearly and quickly you'll be able to see whether you have any problems with your inventory to fulfill all the rental orders that you have entered in the orders sheet. And that's pretty much all you have in the sheet. It's very simple and effective, and you can expand this beyond 25 assets by going to the review sheet unprotecting using the password Indzara, and then you can extend this specific cell. Let me just do this quickly. So once you unprotect, you will see a little arrow here, and then you can just do this and expand to more assets if in your case, if you have more assets. So that's how simple it is. And let me go back to the order sheet to show you a couple more things here. If you are interested in looking at details of only one order, you can use this filter option, and these are default within Excel. If you're familiar with the Excel tables, then you will be able to use all these features to select one order at a time. I can only see order number 2 at this time if I want to. So the filtering capability is there. If you want to know which items are due returning today, then you can go and say, show me the specific date, and then it'll be able to give me all those which are returning on August 7th, for example. So you can use the filter option here. You can sort based on the order date and things like that. So the basic functionality within Excel tables is available to us to use. Just to recap, this template is useful for tracking inventory in a rental type of business where you are renting items to your customers between specific dates, and then at the end of that window the inventory comes back, or the item comes back to your inventory. Then you can use this to know whether you have enough inventory to fulfill a rental order, and also at any point of time know how many units have been rented out and how many units are available in your stock. In the assets sheet, as we saw, this is where you can see the current status of how many have been rented out and how many are in stock on August 5th. This is the current status. So this is how you can use this template. If you have any questions about how this template works or any of the features, please leave me a comment. I'll be very glad to answer any of the questions that you may have. Thank you very much for watching this video.